In the business world, the rearview mirror is always clearer than the windshield. Wall Street is the only place that people ride to in a Rolls-Royce to get advice from those who take the subway. Predicting rain doesn't count. Building arcs does. The first rule is not to lose. The second rule is not to forget the first rule. Risk comes from not knowing what you're doing. Chains of habit are too light to be felt until they are too heavy to be broken. Only when the tide goes out do you discover who's been swimming naked. Price is what you pay. Value is what you get. It's far better to buy a wonderful company at a fair price than a fair company at a wonderful price. Someone is sitting in the shade today because someone planted a tree a long time ago. Should you find yourself in a chronically leaking boat, energy devoted to changing vessels is likely to be more productive than energy devoted to patching leaks. I never attempt to make money on the stock market. I buy on the assumption that they could close the market the next day and not reopen it for 5 years. There seems to be some perverse human characteristic that likes to make easy things difficult. I sent one email in my life. I sent it to Jeff Rakes at Microsoft, and it ended up in court in Minneapolis, so I am 1 for 1. Honesty is a very expensive gift. Don't expect it from cheap people. Someone's sitting in the shade today because someone planted a tree a long time ago. If you're in the luckiest 1% of humanity, you owe it to the rest of humanity to think about the other 99%. The most important thing to do if you find yourself in a hole is to stop digging. Risk comes from not knowing what you're doing. There's class warfare, all right, but it's my class, the rich class, that's making war, and we're winning. It takes 20 years to build a reputation and 5 minutes to ruin it. If you think about that, you'll do things differently. No matter how great the talent or efforts, some things just take time. Rule number 1. Never lose money. Rule number 2. Never forget rule number 1. It's better to hang out with people better than you. Pick out associates whose behavior is better than yours and you'll drift in that direction. Should you find yourself in a chronically leaking boat, Energy devoted to changing vessels is likely to be more productive than energy devoted to patching leaks. You never know who's swimming naked until the tide goes out. You can't produce a baby in 1 month by getting 9 women pregnant. You only have to do a very few things right in your life so long as you don't do too many things wrong. I always knew I was going to be rich. I don't think I ever doubted it for a minute. Quote,